Well, good evening, guys. Today we are going to talk about a little bit about credit. I'm going to answer two questions about credit, and let's start. Okay, the first one is how do credit cards work? Well, as everybody knows, credit card work with a credit limit. This credit limit, the banks evaluate with a credit score that is provided by bureau agencies. Bureau agency bureau agencies, evaluate your entire life, or this is named historical credit of your entire life. They see if you are a good payer, you pay on time your bills, you if you uh, have had some loans, and if you paid it on time, and they evaluate you in a three digit number that are from 300 to 900. And this means that if you are from 500 to 900, you represent less risk for banks, lender, and companies, and financial company, of course. And if you have less than 500, you represent a high risk for banks and company. So when these credit bureaus send this report from for banks or lenders, banks and lenders evaluate this three digits number, and of course they have their own policies. So they provide you a credit limit in order that you can use them properly and without representing a high quantity of risk. Well, for example, if they provide you $1,000 of credit limit, you can make purchases online. You can purchase something with the POS. You can, I don't know, go shopping and spend this credit threshold. What's happened if you overpass this amount of money? You're going to pay interest for the bank because they provide you an amount of money that you can pass. But if you do this, that it's usually customers do. So you are going to pay interest, and of course if you don't pay it on time, or you don't pay at least the minimum of that the bank provides you, for example, you have a credit of limit from $1,000, and the banks provide you the minimum that you have to pay is $200, and if you don't pay it, you're going to pay interest that it's named APR. This APR, it's a kind of interest when where you going to pay for the quantity that you have in debt with the bank. For example, if you have $1,000 of credit limit and you spend $500, so that means that you owe to the bank $500. So the if you don't pay the $500 during the cycle of that credit of each credit cards have, so you're going to pay APR during the time or the month that you are going to pay the rest that you owe to the bank. For example, these $500, you say, oh, I'm going to pay this $500 in 3 months, for example. So the APR, it's going to be charged in your account. Well, this depends about the policy of each bank. For example, it could be APR for around 23%. So you divide this 23% in these 3 months that you are going to pay it, and you need to pay, of course, the $500 and the interest for each month. And of course, if you pass, for example, the time, if you today, for example, if today is the 30th of the month, and this is the cup time, the cup time. So, and the banks close at 8 p.m., and I'm going to pay the credit card at 9. You're going to pay a fees because you don't pay it on time. And this is some of the disadvantage that credit card has. The credit card have, but of course this have sense because banks never lose, and they provide you a good service. So you need to provide him a good payment. You need to provide that you are a good customer, and this is going to be good for you because if you do this, you're going to create a better credit score, a better credit history, because the bureau agencies are gonna see that you are good payers, and they are going to re-evaluate your credit score and put a better or set a better digit number in your account. Well, and the second question is about uh, what are some advantages and disadvantages. Well, I'm going to start with the first one, and first of all, the one of the advantages is that you can increase your credit history. As I was talking before, uh, of course, if you pay on time your bills, if you are a person who pay always on time, if banks provides you credit cards and you always pay on time, you if bank provides you a loan, and if you try to create a good relationship between banks and you in a financial way, of course, so you are going to create a better credit history, and bureau agencies are going to re-evaluate your credit score and put down a better one. Well, this is going to be good because talking about the second advantages that I think that is well, rewards. And if you have a better credit history, you're going to have better rewards. Well, what is rewards? First of all, each banks or financial agencies provides rewards for credit cards. A customer, by using each credit card, you can get or obtain some point of sales, and of course some miles, and this can be exchanged in whatever point of sales, or if you are going to have a trip, you can go to the agency and exchange these miles in order to not pay more money for your flight. So this is some of the advantages, and of course there are a lot of advantages. For example, if you today whatever restaurant have a 15% off you by using your credit card, And this is one of the advantages, and this is really nice because everyone wants always rewards. So and if bank provides them by using credit cards, it's better because you cannot spend a lot of money. And okay, and what about the disadvantages? Okay, the first one is fraud. As everybody knows, in this world there are gangs who specialize their life with fraud. They create like an organization where they can stole your money from your credit card, and this is not always the real gist or concern, because sometimes you can lose your credit card, and of course people can do the same things. Why? Because you, if you want to make a purchase online, it's really easy to do it, and you just need to write it down, the 16 digits on the front part of the credit card, and the security codes that is on the back part of the credit card. And if the credit card have funds, that means that you can make the purchase. So you need to keep in mind always to, if you lost or if you lose your credit card, report it immediately, and in order to know how to know suffer fraud in this case. Well, in the second one is interest and fees. Well, I put this because sometimes is I know that banks need to do this because they cannot lose money, or they can lose money normally, but maybe they need to be a little bit flexible with this interest rate, or or with the fees, because there are some situations that people maybe cannot control, economically, talking economically in the economical way. For example, there are many things that, or there are situations where people buys uh, people buy cars, houses, and many other things, and if they don't pay it on time, the banks they, I don't know, charge against them interest, and if they don't pay it, they charge more interest and more interest and more interest, until the bank appropriate the car, appropriate the house, because in a certain way it's true, because the bank is the owner, and you are only paying to the bank for the service of in this case having the car, having the house. But I think that the bank need to be a little bit flexible with this. That's what I put this interest and fees like a disadvantage, because they need to evaluate situations. And of course I know that this uh, interest and fees change because of the person, because maybe the person has a bad credit score and many other things. But sometimes if people usually go to bankrupt, and then when they establish their life, they have a bad credit credit score, so they're going to have more troubles and problems. And what banks or people in general uh, don't want is that this kind of person, return again to bankrupt and many other things. So basically, these are the my advantages and disadvantages talking about credit card. And well, it's I hope that you appreciate my video, and have a nice night. Bye.